This is the Barbados Today evening news for Friday, July 21st. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Claire Williams. The private sector has officially joined forces with the trade unions to press the Frendel-Stewart administration to hold urgent talks on their concerns over this year's austerity measures. Both sides have called out the public to participate in a joint march on Monday morning from 10 o'clock in a show of support. The announcement today follows a week of industrial action across the public sector as the unions made good on their promise to intensify protests if government did not meet their demands. They are pressing for a 50% reduction in the National Social Responsibility Levy or a coping subsidy for public sector workers. The private sector, meanwhile, wants government to withdraw the austerity measures. General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Tony Moore, says they are taking steps to ensure that essential services are not disrupted by Monday's march.
For this exercise, we will assure that there will be no disruption of the operation at the ports of entry and hotels. We are encouraging all Barbadians to assemble at Queen's Park at 10 a.m. to march with us. This march is a united effort for us all to show our commitment towards achieving what is best for Barbados. We are urging that the public will come out in their numbers and participate fully in this action to safeguard our best interests.
And the president of the Barbados Private Sector Association, Charles Herbert, stresses the need for urgent dialogue with government on matters of concern to both the public and private sectors.
The common frustration that both of us have is the inability to engage the government in dialogue. Well, once we establish dialogue, the unions will have some issues that are different from the private sector, and the private sector will have some that are different from the unions. So there is no saying that either of us are compromising our independence. What our joint call is that we need the three parties to sit together in our tripartite relationship and talk about the problems which have now become urgent for both of us.
The former Deputy General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Robert Bobby Morris, says trade unions are being controlled by the opposition Barbados Labour Party. Morris made the comments while questioning the current industrial action being held by the unions. And he says they are acting on behalf of a few thousand to disrupt the entire population. Delivering the weekly Astor B. Watts lunchtime lecture of the Democratic Labour Party this afternoon, he also questioned why the Umbrella Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations has not been involved in the ongoing protests.
The trade unions are in a bit of trouble. A bit of trouble there. Look at Sinusa, look at Dennis Dickinson, and look at Mr. Murray. They are running Sinusa. Their members are the BUP, the BSDU, etc. And they're taking action and Sinusa are not involved in it. Isn't that strange? It's a very serious matter. It's a very, very serious matter. And you're hearing about the conflicts. They're saying that the Roy does not agree with what is going on. That he's having differences with him. I advise that they're saying is not agreeing with the General Secretary that he put there in terms of the strategies being used. He does not agree with the mark and what's arguing. Some people are taking on face value. That means, therefore, that he's supportive of something else.
In other news this evening, participants in this year's Barbados Cadet Corps Summer Camp made their contribution to the Clean BIM campaign with a cleanup at Long Beach this morning. It is part of a number of community projects included in the camp's activities this year, and it's being done in partnership with the Barbados Tourism Product Authority. Commander of the Barbados Cadet Corps, Lieutenant Colonel Errol Brathwaite, says the students are not only learning military skills, but are being taught to be well-rounded individuals.
And what that does is that gives the young individuals the opportunity to involve in various training activities, building and developing team spirit and teamwork, and really providing wholesome activities in which they can participate. For example, we want to ensure that our young people understand the importance of giving back to their community through community service projects such as this beach cleanup, which we are doing this morning.
The late Director of Public Prosecution, Charles Leacock, was laid to rest today, with members of the legal fraternity sharing fond memories of the island's former chief prosecutor. Barbados Today's Anmar Goodrich-Boyce looks back at this morning's funeral service.
Family and friends of the late Director of Public Prosecutions, Charles Leacock, say he was much more than just one of the island's top legal minds. Along with Prime Minister Frondell Stewart, members of Parliament and the legal fraternity, they gathered at the Cathedral Church of St. Michael and All Angels this morning to pay tribute and bid him farewell. Delivering the eulogy, his son Donald Leacock remembered his father as one who loved his family and went out of his way to ensure that their dreams became reality.
There's not one single thing I could honestly tell you that he did not do for me and my brother. He did everything he possibly could to make our dreams come true. He was the greatest role model I would ever know. Whenever I want to break down and feel sorry for myself about what was happening, I gain my strength remembering that he built his legacy and this amazing life for our family completely from scratch, without any parents. And I know that he raised us and equipped us with the tools necessary to continue his legacy forever.
The young Leacock also said his father had a great love for traveling and sports, sharing that golf was his darling.
I remember from the time I started playing golf when I was 5 years old, I would wait for him to come home from work every day. I'd be like, "Daddy, can we go and play golf?" And he'd be like, "Of course, why haven't you behind your clothes yet?" The only reason I became so good at golf, able to represent Barbados, was because my father and I used to practice and play together so much. He had an undying love for the game. We would play at least 3 times every single week from the time I was 6 years old to when I left Barbados for university at 18 years old. At least 3 times every single week.
During the 2-hour-long service, Chief Justice of Barbados, Sir Marston Gibson, described the late DPP as hard-working and dedicated, even if some thought he was rude at times.
And like all lawyers, he liked to win. His resolute approach to his cases could on occasion even appear to be a little disrespectful. And yet, as a DPP, he was very aware of his position as a Minister of Justice, an idea which infused his entire department. And so, on several occasions, he and his fellow prosecutors have conceded where they were wrong, even if he still held fast to the view that he was not in doubt.
He was also a devoted member of the Anglican Church, and in his sermon, the Reverend Canon Noel Burt said Leacock used his legal knowledge and skills within the church setting. Leacock passed away on July 8th in Orlando, Florida, at the age of 59. Following the service, his body was cremated. May he rest in peace. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce, Barbados Today.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Morning, Miss Oya.
Morning. You again. So you're washing cars now? Well, I can't keep up with you at all.
Yes, girl. You know they're going provision to selling slow. And I don't sell nation newspapers at all because them don't sell. So I washing cars now. I like to get up before 8:30 because I can't take the hot sun. You want the car wash?
No, not today. It clean.
But you're going in very early though?
Yeah, I just going early so I can read the Barbados Today online before work starts.
Right. But you can still let me clean the vendor for the $2. At least it's still cheaper than the nation newspaper.
All right.
I got a special boo here that I got it shining. Thank you. Enjoy your day here.
You too.
All right. What that paper is? She can see clearly when the dirt is gone.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. And we go to St. Kitts and Nevis, where the government has called out the Defence Force to assist in efforts to curb rising crime and violence. The announcement came today from Prime Minister Timothy Harris, who said his administration is committed to making the Twin Island Federation the safest small island state. He said a recent proclamation by the Governor-General granted enforced powers to the Defence Force. The decision to call out the soldiers followed a statement earlier this week from the main opposition, St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, accusing the government of not informing the public about the call-out. And finally, on the international scene, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer has stepped down, reportedly in protest over an organizational shake-up. Reports say Spicer quit because he was not happy with President Donald Trump's appointment of a new communications director. Wall Street financier Anthony Scaramucci has been selected for the role that Spicer partially filled. The shakeup comes amid several investigations into alleged Russian meddling in last year's U.S. presidential election and whether Trump's campaign team colluded with Moscow. That's news this evening. You can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.pb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good evening.